Motherfucker! Good morning. Tuesday the 24th. I ain't got shit for you, girl. I ain't got shit for you, girl. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by DeMcKelly's Barbershop and Emporium, located at 6 Kirby Road in Cromwell, Connecticut, exit 21 off of I-91. DeMcKelly specializes in all types of men's haircuts and hot shaves. Appointments and walk-ins are available, and for the full schedule, check the website, DeMcKelly'sBarbershop.com. That's DIMICHELES barbershop.com, or by calling 860-502-3540. Gift cards are available in any denomination, and they also offer my personal favorite, their own water-soluble pomade. So go get a fresh cut, a clean shave, and an awesome product. And tell them Ben sent you. DeMcKelly's Barbershop and Emporium. Emporium, responsible barbering. But wait! Located within the barbershop is Cafe Vernaza, an all-organic Shearwater Roasters coffee palace. They serve espresso, gelato, fraps, and rotating homemade specialty drinks. Authentic Italian pastries. Got a little fucking ham and cheese, prosciutto cheese croissant, okay? And then I also got a turmeric latte with pepper on it. Shit is high class. You don't even need to get a motherfucking haircut. You go there. It's 6 Kirby Road, Cafe Vernaza. You go in the back and you tell them. You go there, you tell them that you heard this this ad on this podcast, and Eli's mother will tell you to go fuck yourself. Responsible barbering. Okay. So today I have two gentlemen. One by the name of Dan Flans. Really like that fucking last name. I don't know if you know my affinity for flan, but I might just suck that guy's fucking hoo-ha. And Brian Niederhauser. Sounds like an extra from the movie Spaceballs. Niederhauser. They do the Sunday Morning Hangover podcast. This is a podcast that you can listen to on a Sunday morning, because it comes out on a Sunday morning, after a heavy night of drinking Saturday night. But you don't need to be hungover, because it's a comedy podcast. They talk about funny things, they go through some current events, and they do funny games. Had these guys on, I had a fucking blast. We had a blast together. I blasted them, they blasted me. So without further ado, Dan Flans, Brian Niederhauser, the men behind the Sunday Morning Hangover podcast.
I break bread, break bread, break bread, break bread, break bread, I break bread, break bread, break bread, I break bread, break
So we kind of call ourselves,
the Hangover Boys?
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have two gentlemen here with me today, Dan Flans and Brian Niederhauser of the Sunday Morning Hangover podcast, and they are going to hopefully make us laugh.
We'll try.
And explain their show to us. I like to do stuff like this, like my Instagram page for my Just podcast. I go through like maybe once a week and I find a cool podcast that I'm listening to, and I put it up so other people can be like, oh, this is what he listens to, as like a podcast recorder person. Yeah. You know what I mean? What do you what's the premise of your guys' show?
So I'll take this if you don't mind.
Take it.
I do mind.
Sorry. So we put out a weekly podcast called the Sunday Morning Hangover podcast, as said. And basically we decided to do this to have kind of like a late morning style release where you could just throw it on and kind of work your way through that hangover with some light, mild humor, some dad jokes, some good puns, and some submissions that have proved to be a little more interesting maybe than we anticipated.
It's hard. I try to get people to engage in that, and I'll be like, email me questions. Yeah, and no one ever does. Like, I don't know where to be asking it, because I feel like Facebook doesn't work.
When we get an email, it's like the best. I'll be like, did you check the Gmail account? And he's like, No. He'll look like, we got one. I'm like, no fucking way. It's like Gmail?
It's like fishing.
Yeah. The other day, one of our good buddies sent us a submission, and I see him daily in person, and he could have just messaged me, Instagram, Facebook. He sent it to the Gmail.
It was very appreciated.
You would have probably not seen it for a couple of weeks if you didn't check.
Right. Yeah, exactly. We get like, one that's one or two a week if we're lucky.
What's been the best one?
Ooh.
Or most fun?
Well, we have like a few different topics we talk about for submission. So like hangover meal, hangover recipe of the week. So what do you make? Yeah. Or what do you go get? You don't have to make it. You can go get it, We also have all-time low, which is like an embarrassing story. It could be
That's
hungover. It could be when you're drunk, We've shared ours, so people felt more comfortable sharing theirs.
Yeah.
And
hangover remedy of the week.
Okay.
Which oftentimes is in the form of some sort of food, but we've had a few that are not necessarily something you ingest. And,
Right. I think my favorite is usually when someone gives us a hangover meal of the week. Because it's something that I might try.
That's cool.
A lot of the weird ones I don't fucking try.
You could test it out.
I think I'm more a fan of the kind of questions that kind of pit us against each other. And for example, this one didn't, but like one submission we got was the top sheet on your bed. Is it for sleeping under or on top? And we both agreed that it was for sleeping under, obviously.
Yeah.
But there are some times where we can form kind of this yin and yang like debate between the two of us, and I think it proves to be kind of a good
Because that wasn't because
conversation.
some people don't submit like hangover or anything. They just ask us a question like that.
But that's cool because it turns into like a Dear Abby kind of like advice column thing.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
Last year I had like nobody one week, and I made my fiance do a podcast with me, and it turned out to be one of the most downloaded like episodes. She was fucking losing it. She had like a couple glasses of wine, and she got fucking crazy, and she likes to do this thing, Would You Rather, and she poses you with two like equally weird or disgusting scenarios, and she's like, and this is totally on air, and she's like, okay, would you rather eat a piece of rigatoni out of your dad's asshole or fuck your mom with pizza sauce all over your private parts? And I'm like thinking,
man,
probably don't want to fuck my mom. Definitely don't want to go shoving my face in my dad's ass. But if I got to just get the rigatoni and get out,
that's what I'm going with.
Real quick, that's what I'm going to do.
Because you could probably do that without touching anything.
Yeah. If you're surgical about it, sorry, Dad.
Yeah.
Sorry we had to do this. But she'll do stuff like that. And I hear like other people on podcasts do stuff like that, but she gets crazy. And they're not always gross and sexual, but they're pretty fucking funny. So I
you
try
guys
to
should team up and make your little side project.
I would
going,
love.
you know?
I should probably have her on every few weeks because it's pretty funny. Because all she does is rip me apart, and she'll be like, "The things you say, you embellish. You need to be. You need to be honest with people." She's pretty funny.
The free mochi for me Instagram video you put up, like the one reason why we liked it was because she's fucking yelling in the background. And I remember hearing on one of the other podcasts, you're like, yeah, my fiance just like fucking yells at me because you I'm assuming you like repeat this for hours in your house.
Hours.
Yeah.
And it's like it's from 3:45 a.m. till about 10 p.m. And some days she's in it with me, and some days she's just over it.
But you're in it.
And I'm in it.
Always.
Like I'm convinced I like have like mild Tourette's, because I'm not like going off and like saying these weird loud words, but I will for no reason just be like, I'll make up fucking a crazy song about like eating rigatoni out of a dad's ass. And then after I say it for the 400th time, she's like, all right, you killed this one. Stop it.
It's over.
This one's over.
Yeah. I encounter that a lot. I think I'm annoying. I
think it's part of
It's
being
funny,
a comedian, though.
Absolutely.
It is.
It's got to be. You know, every single comedian, their wives or women comedians, their husbands,
And friends,
probably get fucking bummed out after incessantly going over the same scenarios and jokes and shit like that. But that's what makes it good, because the listeners are the people that never hear it. So they hear it once and they're like, that shit was fucking hilarious. But you hear it 200 times in an hour.
It's kind of like a maybe throwing shit at a wall type of thing too, where like something's gonna stick, you know?
Totally. But yeah, like I let you guys keep your podcast like comedy oriented, and I like I'll have some information to give people or like have interviews, but it always goes back to funny, no matter who's on, whether it's like a rapper, a chef. We always end up telling stories about like smashing shit when we were like 14 years old. Like it always goes back to like some war story shit like that.
Well, it's funny because on the way here, I'm driving here, and Brian's like, I listened to Ben's podcast that he released today, and there's like these ladies on there, and they're talking about like what they do for the community and like the art. He's like, we fucking don't do any of that.
The funny thing is like that the one that came out today was very like it was off. It was a little bit more serious, like because like me and those people are trying to start this art district thing. Yeah. But we're getting a lot of pushback from the city about calling it that, and we wanted to get a couple different point of views on how we go about doing it the correct way, keeping everybody included and being diplomatic about it. And they were super happy. Like they got to put their voice out there, put their opinion, and then they get to share the recording. And there's a survey at the end of it. If you look at my Facebook page, there's a survey monkey at the bottom. It'll ask you some questions about like the Hartford art scene. So I'm gonna put that up later on. But it was mostly to do that because we're having like a huge party to kick it off in August, and it's gonna be fucking.
Oh, nice.
It's gonna be. I'll let you both know.
Yeah, let us know.
It's gonna be a party.
Hell yeah.
We got fire dancers.
Fire dancers. I had a daydream the other day that I was a fire dancer. I thought about that. Yeah.
You serious?
You ever daydream?
Oh, yeah.
And the weird thing was this daydream was pretty in-depth, and like, I actually thought about being a fire dancer, and then like meeting this like girlfriend that I really liked, and her invited me to a family party, and me fire dancing at their family party. Is that fucking weird?
Yeah.
That would have been impressive as shit. Like, you show up to a family party, fire
hell of a
dancing.
love story.
You just show up regular and just start pulling equipment out, and they're like, what the fuck? And then you're good at it.
Yeah.
People's minds are just
You
blown.
invite like her little niece up and make her like hold a flaming stick on her nose. Like, you're okay. You're good at it.
You're going to be good.
Yeah,
Is
you're
it the first time you've met her family?
it was just a dream. I don't really know that much about it.
Let me know.
Okay, yeah, I'll let you know what happens about that.
Oh man, yeah. I just I try to pull it. Life is way too serious in 2018 right now, and I don't like to be one of those people that turns away from it. Like I'll go through weeks at a time where I don't listen to NPR on the way to work because the current shit that's going on is bumming me out.
Yeah.
Then I'll get over it and I'll be like, you can't be that. You need to be in the know. You need to have an opinion. So then I'll listen, and then I can only take so much, and I turn it back off. Like,
hey, but the soccer team just got rescued,
dude. That has been her thing for the last 2 weeks. She cried.
She did.
Because that one dude died.
Yeah.
The one diver that went in died.
Yeah, that's like the start of it. Like
every single fucking morning, I'm getting an update from this one. The fucking poor boys in fucking Thailand in the fucking cave. And then I saw today that they all got out, and I sent her because they were saying they would have to wait till fucking November for monsoon season to be over. And they just made a decision. They were like, fucking let's go in there and get them.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And they're all saved. They saved them all today. I think they finished
there was
all 12,
like a small area that like any of us could go in, but there was one area where it was like there was 3 underwater areas, and 2 of them are like big enough to pull supplies through, do whatever, but one of them is like a hole that like you can't even get through with like
a 15-inch diameter or something crazy.
And that's where the guy died.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's fucking terrifying.
With tanks and stuff on too, I'm assuming.
You gotta like take the tank off and like pull it through with you. It's like, and you can't go in there, teach the kids how to dive, and then expect them to do that. But I don't know how they did it.
They did it though.
That was like, remember when they pulled? How old are you?
What, little Jessica?
You remember? How old are you?
Why'd you say little Jessica? What was that?
He's thinking about it. The girl in the well.
Oh,
I was probably very young. I'm 27.
Oh, okay. And you're
27.
Okay, yeah, I'm 40.
Yeah.
So I remember that when I was in high school and being like, yeah, like at the end, like I was glad a piece of news came out the right way.
Did you get a little Jessica tattoo?
No, but I know that
there's good idea.
I know that there's some out there.
Yeah. Well, you could get the Thailand boys' names all over you now.
Yeah, imagine every single one.
12
Thailand boys.
That's a good.
I know a couple other Thailand boys.
It's a good band name, the Thailand Boys. You guys want to start that?
Holy fuck!
What would our genre be?
like Thai pop.
Just
It'd be fucking crazy. Everybody would have a keytar.
Only.
But yeah, like I'm not like a scared person. And I kind of like try to like put that out to the world, but like every once in a while, like the news just bums me the fuck out, and I gotta turn a blind eye to it just to save myself for a couple weeks, and then I can go back at it. You know what I mean? Try again. But
like I know you don't drink, but you know, for me, I mean, just weekends, just getting blackout drunk and then forgetting about everything.
That works.
It works.
That's why people do it. That's why people do. You know, that's why people. You know, it's a form of pain. You know, having to listen to the crazy shit that's going on in America right now is a form of pain. So you can do a drug or a drink to ease that pain, and that's what, you know.
Or Sunday Morning Hangover podcast.
Or listen, take
That's
the clean
true.
route.
I don't want to plug it too much on here, but
Somewhere here in podcast said, take the cleaner out, listen to us.
So how long are your guys' episodes usually?
30 minutes usually. We'll go a little bit over, never really under.
no, it's been. I think like the first 4 episodes we put out were like 33 minutes.
Yeah.
And I was like, is this how it's going to be every time? Like, do we have this down to a
It's funny that it was
science?
fucking
Like,
science.
Go there every time.
yeah.
But-
And I think it's a perfect amount of time, though.
Yeah, we like, you know, it's banter and it's easy listening. Wake up in the morning. I mean, whether you listen to it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it doesn't really matter. But it's not long. It's your commute to work. Most people 30 minutes. You know.
See, the thing about that is like I'd be pissed if I was a listener and I was having a fucking ball and then it just stopped. You know what I mean? Because there's podcasts I listen to and some of them are grueling and then some of them are good like that and they're short. But like it's kind of smart because that only makes the listener go for the next one.
That's what we hope for. And it was funny, like when we started this podcast. So I don't. We were probably at a bar or something, and I remember we talked about it for a while. Like we wanted to do a podcast, and we would just sit at the bar and rant like this for hours anyways. I'm like, we could fucking do this. Like he has recording stuff. He knows production. Like we could edit. We could do this. And we didn't know what to do it about. So we're coming up with ideas, and I had a few that I thought were really good, and apparently they were not good.
Let's hear them.
Okay, yeah, you want to hear them?
Yeah.
So one of my idea that I really wanted to do was post ads on Craigslist. And no, I'm sorry, it wasn't to post an ad. It was to go to the looking
them.
for on Craigslist, where people are like, I'm looking for a lawnmower for $200.
Yeah.
And then I try to sell them something else that's on Craigslist.
That's kind of funny.
It is great. And
People-
imagine doing it.
Yeah, but like I could see it going either way. You could piss somebody off or like give them like a real deal and they're like, holy shit.
Like, I know you want this lawnmower for $200, but I found a bicycle
Yeah.
for $50.
Yeah, and you're going to love it.
And I don't even get any I don't get any commission on this. I'm just going to
Sold.
set up the sale and then talk about it on the podcast.
Dude, Craigslist is trying to clean up their act. They don't do personals anymore.
Damn.
Yeah, there's no more casual encounters, sex-based
No way.
search terms anymore. Yep.
Wait, what about the
Missed encounters?
yeah,
or whatever?
we have misconnection.
Misconnections. I feel like if they
These
got
are like novels. They
I
should
feel
keep
like
those.
if you took that away, you're kind of robbing everybody because those are good.
I've always wanted to be on one.
Dude, I had one and I wanted to meet the person so bad because
But you wrote one, or you found
when
someone that was looking for you?
Somebody was looking for me when I was working at Trader Joe's. Somebody left one. It was like guy named Ben, tattooed, cashier at Trader Joe's, fucking love you, blah blah blah, think you're sexy. And I just remember like somebody showing me like a screenshot of it and me going on Craigslist and it was gone because I was just gonna send him an email and just to be like, I didn't give a fuck if it was a dude or not. I wanted to see the person.
Yeah.
Send me a picture of yourself. And it was kind of flattering, but it's funny because there was this other dude, Anthony, that had been working there, and he's just like total like kind of like almost like a New York vibe, but a little bit more like Warped Tourish, you know, like swoopy hair. That motherfucker had 12.
What?
And I don't know if it was all the same
Damn,
person,
Trader
but
Joe's.
he was
I know. I got a fucking job
Trader
there.
Joe's was a meat market within the company and outside.
When did you work there?
I worked at Trader Joe's from 2007 to 2012.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I used to this is before I was in and out. I had just gotten out of like a really like serious relationship. So I was just ready to go on a fucking what do they call it? No, like
Tear.
a flesh rampage.
Oh wow.
A killing spree.
And
Halo.
I actually like I met some nice ladies there, but my thing was I used to be kind of like creepy, and I would find like beautiful women that were like looking to check out, and I'd be like, here, come to my register. And I made a lot of friends that way, but then they would come in and expect me to do it all the time, and then other people would see me do it and like be like, yo, what the fuck? Why does this lady get to fucking go?
Damn.
And I'd be in my mind because she's fucking hot, and you're fucking wearing a fucking jazz
Crocs.
jersey. Dude, Crocs. I did. I know this is about you guys, but I need to tell you the story because I think it's comedy,
tell it, man.
and you would like to hear
Sure.
this. I actually am still in touch with this girl. So this girl comes. She used to come every week, and she would buy a piece of smoked Gouda and a Ritter bar.
Okay. What's that? A Ritter bar?
You ever see like they're like a small little like chocolate bar, and they come in all the different flavors.
All right. Yeah.
It's like a square, but with all the squares, it's like sold in a square. It's called a Ritter bar.
Okay.
So it's like dark chocolate,
Wait,
hazelnut.
I'm more concerned about the smoked Gouda. Was it just one piece or like a pound?
Like a big hunk, like a good hunk of
Okay.
it.
Okay.
So
You can get it at the deli.
yeah. So one day she comes and she only gets the Gouda. And I'm like, what? No Ritter bar today? And she's like, I don't have enough. And I was like, come on. I go get her the fucking bar and I give it to her. She's like, oh my God, thank you so much. Da da da. Leaves, comes back in an hour and comes to my register and goes, can I have your number? And I was like, yeah,
Nice.
totally fine. Yeah, whatever. Leaves. Then I get a phone call on the Trader Joe's phone. I just gave the girl my cell phone number. The Trader Joe's phone, and they're like, hey, Ben, this girl is on the phone for you. She's like, hey. And I was like, hey, I just gave you my number. What's going on? She's like, what are you doing tonight? And I was just going to go home. Like, and it was like snowing. It was like fucking January. And I was like, I'm down. You want to hang out? I'm down for whatever. She's like, all right, I'm going to pick you up. And I'm like, okay, cool. So she picks me up in a white van that looks like it was painted over, and it used to be like a Calco cleaning van. You could kind of see the old advertisement under the paint. And she gets me in her van, and it's just sketchy as fuck. And she's got a crazy Polish accent. She's the nicest girl, like one of the nicest girls ever. But she's just like, she's fucking weird. So she brings me to Vernon. And she brings me to this very, very affluent part of Vernon up on the mountain, right? Now it begins to blizzard. And we get there, and I'm like, all right, so I'm in for the night. Like, I'm in for this. Like, this is, I'm not going to be able to
You
escape.
threw your chips in.
I hope everything goes fine because it'll be weird if it doesn't.
Yeah.
So she brings me to this fucking mansion, but it's built in the fashion of a log cabin. So imagine like a 3-story huge mansion, but looks like a cabin with
the logs on
all
the
the
corners.
logs.
Is
Yeah.
this her place?
So she's watching it for her friend that works on Wall Street.
Nice.
And he comes back every couple weeks.
Damn.
So I go inside, right? And it opens up to a kitchen door. There's a 3-car garage. The whole place is heated by a pellet wood stove, which I have to go out with her and throw these large pieces of wood into this big burner, and it heats the whole house. So she keeps off all the lights in the house, except there's a great room that's got a 25 fucking foot Christmas tree in it. And she just turns on the Christmas tree lights. And she says to me, would you like some tea? And I go, yeah, sure. So she makes me pomegranate tea. The lights are off. We're sitting next to this fucking Christmas tree. Mind you, you look out the big glass windows and you can see the skyline of Hartford far away, right? I'm like, this is fucking sick.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So she gets about as far closer than you guys are right now. And she gets right in my face.
About a foot.
Yeah. And just proceeds to ask me every question of every facet of my life. So I tell this girl my whole life story. So then she brings me upstairs, and there's a whole room that's bigger than this, dedicated to the guy that owned the house was like obsessed with model cranes. So there's crazy model cranes, like truck cranes, ones you see on the side of buildings, like all under these glass enclosures, like a fucking museum. And I'm like, yo, this is fucking sick, right? She brings me around, shows me all these sick rooms. Then she brings me to the room where she gets to sleep, and it's a futon laid out in the middle of this small room, and on the both sides of the bed are just mountains of old magazines and computer parts, monitors, keyboards, mouses, shit like that, going up both sides of the wall.
That was her room?
Yeah.
What
with like
the fuck?
with like nowhere to really stand. Like, so then she fucking throws me down. Animalistic. Gets real crazy, right? And I'm like, okay, whatever. So you know that if you're on a futon and it's folded out and you're not in the middle, it's kind of like when the fat dude is on one side of the picnic table kind of thing. It'll flip.
Yeah.
So like she's like on top of me, and I go to do like the fucking sexy fucking suavo move and like move her over, but I move us both to the side, and it makes the whole fucking thing flip. I'm rained down on my face, keyboards, mouses, pieces of computer equipment. I was bleeding from right here. One smashed me in the face. Mad Vogue magazines all over, and you could just hear like. And she's like, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? I'm like, yeah, I'm all right. So like fucking whatever. We end up, we finish, and I'm just like, all right, cool. Like,
Why is she sleeping in there?
that was her quarters.
Was that her stuff?
Yeah, like that was where the dude probably was like, okay, this is your room. I don't know why. So I had to stay there overnight. We wake up the next morning. It's still fucking blizzarding, and I don't leave until about 3 p.m. the next day. Plus, I got to help her like shovel out the white fucking
Awkward.
and my car is in Trader Joe's parking lot all night.
Oh, and she had to drive you back.
She drove me back to Trader Joe's. Yeah,
Wait, what town was the Trader Joe's in?
right here, West Hartford.
Oh, it was?
Yeah.
So she travels from Vernon Mountains to West Hartford Trader Joe's for a block of Gouda
and a Ritter bar.
and a Ritter bar.
Yeah.
For you.
Yeah.
I think
So-
it was always for you.
I
She
don't
was
know.
weighing.
The funny thing was, she used to date this guy I knew, and he's in like a grindcore band, just like totally like you can't understand the words. And she used to sing in the band with him.
Whoa.
Yeah, but she's just like a florist. She's a florist. So after that happened, I kind of kept in touch, and over the years, every girlfriend I had, she would give me a deal on flowers for them.
Oh shit!
And then I just did the art show I did last year, and for all the people that like were big sponsors, she gave me a huge bouquet of flowers and delivered them to all the places. So she's still a
No way.
She's still a friend
in that room.
I don't know. She's got children now and is married. This is like a long time ago. This is like
Wow.
10 years ago.
They're
Yep.
probably just stuffed behind the computer monitors.
Yeah.
Towers. They make play pens and they. But you know what? They probably know their ABCs because they have all these. They have all these.
They probably know how to build a computer
Oh yeah.
and read.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Read Vogue.
They know how to type already. They're like
Yeah, they don't know the ABCs in order because the keyboard isn't in order.
QWERTY.
QWERTY.
I never understood QWERTY, and I remember I used to see it like in ads, like QWERTY keyboard, QWERTY setup, and I'd be like, why the fuck do they call it that? And then one day, that wasn't even that long ago, maybe like 5 years ago, I'm like, oh, because it's right there.
Why the fuck would they advertise it? Is that every
Yeah,
single keyboard
QWERTY.
has that?
What keyboard isn't like that?
That should be like a rapper's name, Lil QWERTY.
Little QWERTY.
Spelled like that.
Lil
Oh,
QWERTY.
that's fucking good, yo. Damn.
Oh man, do you guys like rap?
I do, yeah.
What are you listening to right now?
I'm not a huge fan of rap.
What are you listening to?
So I'm kind of I like mainstream rap and hip hop, and I like a lot of the alternative R&B out of Canada,
Really?
like the OVO stuff. I'm into.
Okay. All right. So you like Drake's new album?
Somewhat. I haven't really given it a thorough listen to.
I'll tell you,
I like the one before it a little more.
I hated on the dude for years, but I listened to this album a couple times, and there's a couple like if you're like if you like real rap, like there's like a song that's produced by DJ Premier. And I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah,
Like,
I
there's
saw
like
that. I heard
3
about
like
that.
hard rap songs
Yeah.
on it. But then there's like, I was walking around work all day today going, Kiki, are you riding? I'm like, oh, my
Yeah.
fucking coworkers are
I mean,
like,
that's a banger. Though.
there's
I don't
one
blame
Puerto
you.
Rican girl that understands the joke, and she's just dying the whole time. Nobody else fucking understands anything.
And you're doing it just like you did your fiance, 2 hours in the office.
Yeah.
What I do here, I do in a clinical setting at a methadone clinic.
Nice.
And
Hey, be yourself.
they don't know me any other way. Like when I have to be serious, I am. But like when the patients are gone, even like sometimes in the lobby when patients are getting crazy, like I say crazy shit to like calm them all down. You know what I mean? Like it's like
I love being myself. I think being yourself, even to public, for customers or for whatever your job is probably the best way to go about it.
I wouldn't be able to do anything if I couldn't. Like, there's no way I could be like
Yeah, I
this
admire
regular dude, like, and going somewhere without. I've my whole life I've tried to make people laugh, and I don't know if it's a weird anxious thing because you don't want to have like a real conversation, but like
That's the way to be, though, if
but
you
I
are
can't-
anxious, you know?
But the thing is, like, to open, like, if you don't know anybody, if you don't know somebody, you're not going to go in and have this crazy conversation with them first. You
No.
find something you both can laugh about, and then you can turn the
Yeah.
conversation that way. I've been doing it my whole life, and it's probably one of the only things I think I'm really good at. Don't ask me to, like, write jokes, but, like,
No.
I could fucking
Yeah.
sing you a song about eating rigatoni out of my dad's asshole, and everybody's going to fucking laugh at it, but who knows what they think when they walk away. Like,
Right. At least don't
Who
laugh to your
cares,
face.
you know?
yeah.
No, but the worst is like when people find out that you're kind of funny, and then like they meet you and they're like, "Oh, Dan Flans, like you're funny." Someone told me you're funny. Like, what's a joke? I'm like, oh,
Yeah, isn't that
fucking
weird?
joke for
Fuck
you, dude?
you.
Like, yeah,
It happens
Fuck
naturally, you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's like,
I'm
Yeah.
not stepping into the street with pre-made jokes for
Right.
you.
Yeah,
Like,
it's funny though because like when we first, we still do this shit. Like every episode we put out, like we might joke text like, "Are we funny?" Like people think we're funny. Like especially the first episode, like we got pretty decent feedback. Like people liked it and stuff, and we were just like, maybe we're funny. Like we were so apprehensive about doing it at first because we didn't think it would be funny.
Yeah.
We'd constantly tell ourselves, it's funny. Don't worry.
Like, we're
it's funny.
fucking funny, man.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
funny.
I mean,
thing
that's
is-
the reason we decided to do it at first. We thought we were funny guys.
You'll have like that one friend that tells you over and over, and then you're like, I need other people
Exactly.
to like back it up. But then if you have like one of your serious friends laugh, or like an older person, then you know you're on the right track.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, but sometimes like I just a dud. Sometimes I'll just be slinging
Oh yeah.
duds.
No, it's like throwing shit at a wall. Like,
Yeah, something's gonna stick
Something's
sooner or
but
later.
a lot of it isn't.
We sling duds a lot. That's why we had to. We cut a lot of shit out. It's
Yeah.
like,
How many episodes you guys got?
We
nine just
yeah.
released on Sunday.
Cool.
And 9 is fucking funny. So
I'm gonna go listen to that one.
Yeah,
9 is fucking funny.
good.
We play a game. We didn't make up a name for it. Maybe you could help us. And the game was that Brian had 8 rounds of different weed strains, and one was real, 2 were fake. And I had to guess which one was real.
That's a good game, dude.
It was great.
It's pretty good and also like with the Sunday Morning Hangover podcast, it was just consistently like alcohol hangovers, beer hangovers, everything. So like we introduced the weed hangover on this episode.
It's hard to get a weed hangover. You can though.
But it's a real thing.
You can.
It's
It's
a real
real
thing.
though.
Yeah.
It
if
is
you take
real.
an edible too late, you're gonna have a
Yeah.
weed hangover
Oh,
the
yeah.
next day.
We're just
So-
saying like you're groggy, you're slow, you're heavy. It's
Yeah.
not as sickening as an alcohol
Yeah.
hangover or other drugs.
It's a little more manageable.
You're just like out of it. Mm-hmm. You could use a hot tub.
Heavy
Oh,
face
yeah.
was the best description, I
Yup.
think. Like your face is
Heavy face.
Yeah, heavy face. You're a sandbag.
Yeah.
But we try to play games a lot on there.
Yeah.
We did the yard game debate, the great yard game debate of 2018.
Not really a game, but we discussed. It was like the beginning of summer, so we put together a list of like all the popular yard games: can jam, cornhole, ladder ball,
Jart.
Jart.
We did talk about the most dangerous
but
The
game.
most dangerous.
We compared it to Voldemort.
yeah.
Voldemort.
Keep it down,
Really.
Keep it down, man.
I remember my cousins had jarts, and I was just like,
Real ones.
this is fucking sick.
These
Yeah,
are fucking
they're off the market.
weapons.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
Oh,
You'll your skin will get punctured. You'll break your fucking skull.
You'll
Like,
fucking die.
That's some 80s shit.
Yeah.
But the
It's
thing
80s
is, like,
shit,
that they were being sold when I was that age, and people were whipping them around. And then
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what the fuck happened where they were like, oh, gotta pull jarts. Like, they must have had multiple people
yeah.
getting
Oh, yeah,
fucked
I'm
But
up.
sure
I
they
could
did.
only imagine, like, all right, you know, we all go to parties these days. There's always some angry drunk. There's always a fight. You know, I mean, not always, but there is a fight during drinking games. You know, can jam. It's something competitive. You got jarts going. You have a fucking deadly weapon, and you have a drunk.
You're gonna throw it at somebody.
You're gonna throw it at someone.
It's like playing darts,
And
but
you're
it's a
going to
big-
hit. Because those
Oh,
things
it's
are like
big. Yeah, they're-
designed to go point first.
Yeah. You guys see the places that are opening up everywhere with the axes?
episode 1.
Episode 1, we talk about it.
They just opened one over near on Bartholomew, where the brewery is. I think it's
Yeah.
over there somewhere.
Do you know what they called it?
I can't
No.
remember, but we made up a few names.
We
for
had a
it
few
that
names,
were
we went
are
for
probably
it.
better.
Really?
than theirs.
Yeah.
What is the real name? I'm gonna look it up
Look
right
it
now.
up.
All right.
What was the names we made up?
Yours was Sharpened Pints.
Sharpened Pints. Yeah, pretty
That's
good.
pretty good.
You made up one,
Mine was the Ratchet Hatchet.
and you would like this.
That's
Ben.
really good.
You would like this Ben, because the Ratchet Hatchet only plays hardcore bands.
Ooh,
Yeah, and it's real dirty. Like,
It's dirty.
yeah.
axe
You could pee.
throwing.
You could pee on the walls.
Yeah.
That was our thing
Yeah.
pee on the walls.
in the Ratchet Hatchet,
Excellent.
not in Sharpened Pints.
Pine and iron.
Pine and iron.
That's pretty
Pine
good.
and iron axe throwing. You know what though? For what they're trying to do, that's good.
It's a good
But
name.
mine would be some crazy shit.
What would your name be?
Mine would be like well, mine would be like fucking Conan's Alley.
That's actually
That's
pretty
fucking
good.
But
Yeah.
it would be like battle axes with the double-sided.
Yeah, like
you know?
some Lord of the Rings elf
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then if you wanted to
Yeah.
fuck with the great sword,
Yeah.
take it off the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw somebody. This guy I know went there last week, and I saw a video of it. I would do that. Like I'm not an avid dart player, but if I go to a bar and there's a dart thing and no one's playing with it, like I know how to play darts.
Yep.
But I feel like that I'd be like, yo, I want to fucking whip this fucking axe in the wall and see what happens. But am I gonna make a game out of it and try to get it closer and closer and closer? And I just feel sooner or later somebody's gonna fucking lose a fucking hand or something.
That's what you talked about, the danger of it. I mean, it's
It's just like a shooting gallery. You
Yeah.
can't let anybody go down range and still have people.
and they serve alcohol.
Yeah, that's the other
That's
thing.
what-
Like, people are drunk
Yeah,
doing that.
that's
so
what
we were
fucking-
like,
Yeah.
we discussed it was like even a good idea or not. Like,
It
to
ain't
do
like
this.
fucking mini golf.
How'd they
you
get
know?
away with that?
Someone's.
You know, might as well make a fucking gun range bar next. You know,
I'm sure they have something
probably
like
have
that
it.
not,
somewhere.
not in Connecticut.
No, but
No,
maybe
no.
like Utah.
But like,
Yeah,
like
a little farther
a
down
sicker like
south.
me, like I'd love to go to Pint and Iron and see someone's fucking hand get chopped off. Like, as long as it's not mine, like, oh shit.
I just know that, like, and I'm fucked up because if I was hanging out and there was some drunk dudes like getting crazy and like a dude chopped the tip of his finger off and he was like being a dick earlier in the night, best believe I'm going to laugh at his pain.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
You
Oh,
know what
yeah.
I mean? And you could say I'm a bad person for that, but like, it's not like a little kid that's innocent.
No.
It's like you're kind of a cocksucker. So
And you're
Sure,
hammered
they
and you're
did
throwing
something
axes.
too.
now you
warrant
only
that.
have 9 fingernails.
nails.
That's, yeah, just he just sliced the nail
Just
right
the nail
off.
off. You'll be fine.
It'll never grow back. Ever.
Yeah, I saw that and I was just like, this is a thing.
Yeah, it is a thing. It's getting big.
What are some other things that are a thing now that nobody would ever thought of?
Ooh, oh man, there's a lot of them. I just need to be able to think of this.
Yeah. Fuck.
Axe throwing is definitely one. You wouldn't have thought 10 years ago that there would be a place where you could go play Dungeons and Dragons in a safe space.
We played Dungeons
We
and
played Dungeons and
Dragons.
Dragons.
Yeah.
Weekly.
But not in a safe
Not in a
place.
safe
I
place.
guess it is a
but
safe, a safe place.
Yeah.
It's his basement.
Or
you
like
played?
a storefront.
you
Back
played?
in the day,
Yeah.
I got
True.
friends that do like the Warcraft one, and like there's a couple other
Yeah.
ones, and they get together weekly,
Yeah.
and they fucking love it. I love shit like that.
Ours is
dude.
pretty lax.
Like, I'm
and
a
it's
dork.
actually really human. Like I probably laugh more playing D&D than I do any other day of the week.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well, I do dread playing.
He has a weird complex where, like, we have a group chat, obviously, to, like, you know, just stay on top of things. Unfortunately, we haven't played in a little bit, but every Monday when we usually play, he's always like, texting the group, texting me like, dude, I don't want to fucking play. And I'm just like, every week you do this, like, just get there. And as soon as he walks in the door, this dude is literally fucking hopping up and down, ready to go.
If you guys, let me know. Like, I need you to teach me again. I played back in the day, but I would need a refresher course.
It's fucking fun, and we're not serious. To
an extent.
So Brian writes a storyline, and it's fucking legit.
Really?
I take that seriously. Yeah, I want to have a good story. So I mentioned like the McElroy brothers earlier.
Yeah,
they also run a kind of tabletop narrative podcast.
Cool.
And that was the original podcast I got into.
Really?
And Griffin is the dungeon master of this thing, and he's just like amazing writer. The way he edits the episode, the way he tells his story, it just like was totally inspiring to me to get into this. So I started talking to my brother about it, who we play with my brother and two of his bandmates, and we get together every Monday, and it's just like when we're not playing, when I have my time, I write the story, and like I just get like fully immersed in it, and I love it.
So I listen to sometimes. So I started off like everybody else back in the day, listening to fucking. Well, one of my friends had one called Chrome Bills, and it was all hip hop shit. And then I listened to another one called Captain Jack, and it was another like hip hop podcast, but like it was more like a radio show in podcast format. You could hear new music and shit. But they were doing it so far like long ago that like you can't use other people's music. But they were just putting it out as like a radio show, and they probably did have consent from all the music they were playing. But I would listen to that, and then then I listened to Joe Rogan, and then I kind of got sick of him because he's an outspoken Connecticut hater. So I kind of got a resentment.
I don't listen to him, but I know a lot of people that do.
He has good content.
He's like the number one podcast.
He's the podfather.
Yeah.
So, but like he's good in a way that like it's eclectic. There's all kinds of shit, all kinds of topics, weird stuff, workout stuff, fucking famous people. Like that's cool. But like I guess he must have had a bad show. He used to live in Boston, but he always refers to Connecticut as just a highway between New York and Boston. And I think he came to Hartford and had a bad show like Chappelle did. And he's just still got. I always troll him on Twitter because I want him to fucking reply. So I can be like, give me a chance. I'll come on your podcast and I will make you change the way you think about Connecticut. And I would go there and defend Connecticut for us. And then
the big Connecticut debate.
That would be like
that happens.
That's like one of my dreams, to go and be on his show and change his mind about Connecticut.
And then if you don't change it, you have to fight him.
I would.
You think you beat him?
No,
you're a big guy, but he's trained. He's pretty
like,
trained, isn't he?
Like he does jujitsu. Like I have a black belt in Kempo, but that doesn't mean shit. But I do Brazilian jiu-jitsu. But like he's been doing it for a long more. And his kick, he kicks me in the leg one time, I'm just gonna fall on the ground.
Yeah.
Like I would have to sneak up behind him and just choke him.
Yeah.
Like he used to be a dork. Like I could beat up Fear Factory Joe Rogan. I can't beat up Joe Rogan of today. He's fucking meat.
Fear Factor Joe Rogan's fucked, though.
That dude eats fucking avocados and elk every day. He's fucking pure muscle. But, like, yeah. But then I moved into the other comedy ones, the Tom Segura one, and a couple other comedy podcasts, fucking Mark Maron.
And then hopefully Sunday morning Hangover podcast.
That'll be the new one. But then, just for this last year, I've been straight up conspiracy cryptozoology. I listened to one called Expanded Perspectives, and it's just these two dudes from Texas. They have hard accents, and they just talk about all the fucking crazy sightings and things that are going around in the nation. And then this other dude, what the fuck is his name? He does this one called THC, the Higher Side Chats, and that's like just crazy shit, talking about how there's still Nazis on Antarctica and nobody knows, and they have a moon base. So, like,
you believe it?
Some of the stuff, totally. There's a lot of stuff that I do believe. It's a very woke podcast, but like it's cool. That's cool. Like that's really what. But I'll go in and out. Like I'll get sick of that and go back to comedy, and like get sick of that. I listened to a fucking bunch of dieting ones for a long time, like a ketogenic podcast. Like you can find anything, and that's the beauty of like.
That's the thing about podcasts now. They're just like, they're mainstream now almost. If they're not mainstream now, they're going to be in like a week or something. I just
And
wanna-
since I started mine, I've had probably like 4 or 5 friends reach out to me to ask me like tips on how to get started and stuff. And now they have like one of my friends has like a really cool podcast. My friend Pete, he does this one called the Stockberry Dark. He lives in Waterbury. His friend lives in Stockberry or Stockland, Sweden. And together they record them together, and they find like weird dudes from like the 80s and 90s, like hardcore punk scene, but they bring them on but make them get involved in like this paranormal spooky podcast. So they'll talk about their music background, but then everybody that comes on has to tell like this one crazy thing that happened to them, and it gets pretty cool. It's very cool.
That is cool.
But what do you do for work? What is your regular day? What's your 9 to 5?
My 9 to 5. It's a 7:30 to 5.
Okay.
And I work at a new car dealership, and I'm a service writer. So you bring your car in for service. I write it up. I'm the link between the mechanic and the customer.
Yep.
And then try to sell you more work if necessary.
If you need it. Yep.
If you need it. Yeah, just right under the service manager that I have there. It's I have like 8 mechanics. It's not bad. I deal with a lot of angry people though.
Oh yeah.
Because everyone's car's broken.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. So it's rough.
I've dealt with some people that do your job. They were total fucking assholes, but I've also dealt with a lot that fucking hooked me up and like made me want to return to that.
Yeah, that's what I try to do. I mean, like, in reality for me, it's like I'm not an asshole. But if you're going to step to me before I even start speaking
and not know, like, you're just the messenger. Like,
right.
That, yeah, it's like yelling at someone at the DMV. It's like you're not doing it, but you're taking it out on the poor person. All they're going to do is fucking not do shit for you.
Right.
You know
It's
what
like
I mean?
advice, like the obvious advice. Like, clearly these people who do that have never worked service or like any type of service. You know, it's like you don't go into a restaurant and start bitching at your waitress or waiter before they even served you. It's like the being polite goes a long way.
Totally.
Yeah. So,
Totally.
But I deal with a lot of that.
And I remember those people. I'll send you a fucking card.
Hell
like,
yeah.
if somebody does something, especially in that, like, vein, like, I had a recall on my Pathfinder.
Yep.
And I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And there was, like, when I bought it, there was this weird, like, shutter that kept happening. And I found out there was a recall. I go to the Nissan dealership. The dude tells me about that and 2 other ones. They do it all for free, and they gave me a car to drive around for like 3 days.
So they give the loaner.
And I wasn't even asking about the other ones. He like looked them up in the computer, and he's like, "We're gonna do all this." Didn't pay a fucking cent, and now my fucking car runs fucking nice.
Nice and sturdy.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, and when someone like you does reach back out and like tells someone like how like they were happy. So the other day I had a customer. Honestly, I don't even remember like what we did to his car, but he was psyched. And when he came in to pick it up, I was on the phone with another customer, and he was like, "Hey man, like thank you," and like shook my hand, and he left. But I was on the phone. He called me 2 hours later. I pick up, and he's like, "Hey man, it's whatever his name was," and I was like, "Oh shit, his car's fucked up." Because like, why else would you call back? I'm like, "Well, what happened, man?" He's like, I just wanted to thank you so much. Like you were great. You were polite. You got my car right in. You got me back out, and you explained everything. Like, and I want to tell you how much I appreciate it. I'm like, damn, man. Like, thank you.
Yep. There was a guy at the right off Jennings Road, that fucking Volkswagen Audi dealership over there. And Meg's fucking tire popped at the Windsor X, and she went off. So I go there. She bought the car used. I find the wrench and everything, but that kind of Passat has the weird fucking key to get one of the things off.
Wheel locks on it, yeah.
Nothing in the bag. Like, they sold it to her without that. So I was like, fuck, like, this shit's stuck on here. So I go back to the what do you call it? The dealership. I explained to the dude what happens, and he's like, I would give you this to go up there, but I'd have to look at it because they make 20 different ones. You know what I mean? He sends his mechanic with the full box. The dude gets in my car, drives up with me. He fixes it right on the spot. I bring him back. That was it. They didn't charge.
That's crazy.
Yeah, they didn't charge nothing. And I gave him a tip. He wouldn't take it. And then, like, I called like his boss like later in the day, and I was like, yo, this dude, I think his name was Matt or something. I was like, he fucking went above and beyond. You need to give that guy a fucking raise. Da 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 da. And
Nice.
I called in, and he was like, just doing my job, bro. But he like, I would have been fucked. Like,
Yep.
somebody else would have made you buy like all the tool to work on it, and then new wheel locks.
Well, even just like going out with you, like he's on his job.
Yeah.
And he's gonna travel with you
Yep. He fucking did it, dude.
at no charge.
No. He was fucking.
And then didn't even accept a tip.
He was like a crazy hillbilly. He had like a his hair. His hair was orange, like that microphone cover.
Oh, that was like a mustache.
No, like that. And he was just like a good old boy. And he was just so
Really?
nice. Yeah. It was fucking
good.
great.
Nice.
What do you do, Brian?
So I have like split time right now. I'm actually a student.
Really?
I'm going back to school to get my bachelor's right now.
Where you go?
I go to University of New Haven for sound recording technology.
Oh, dope.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then I work weekends at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
Nice.
Yeah. So
That's a good place to work. It's
yeah.
like
Do the
it's
serving,
fucking good
bartending.
steak, dude.
yeah,
They've always been good.
Yeah, I love working there.
That's awesome.
It's a good spot, and I
That's-
deal with kind of that
Yeah,
same
thing.
same crowd sometimes too. The goods and the good and the bad.
Yep.
And yeah,
What that's why you're so good at mixing podcasts, because that's your shit.
that's my
Sound
shit.
design.
Yeah, I've
Sound recording.
I've always loved it. I never took it like seriously enough, unfortunately. And then a couple years back, I was like, I think I'm ready just to go headfirst into this. So
That's dope.
you know, a lot of people don't go to school for it. Some people do.
It's one of those things, like you could be self-taught, or you could go and like learn everything.
Yeah, and I looked at it like I want a diploma anyway, just in case, whatever. And I also looked at myself and I was like, I'm not necessarily a self-taught person I want to be. So I enrolled there and got in, and I've been doing that.
You can get a fucking job, dude. Like with that kind of degree,
Oh, yeah.
people know.
Yeah.
Like you go work for like a radio station or like a studio where there's a lot of music recording
Yeah.
going on.
There's a lot of different angles I could go with it.
When you're done, like, do you know how to like record actual music? Like, would you like if a band wanted you to come in and be like the guy that recorded, you could do that at
right
this
now,
point.
or
right now?
I would definitely take a stab at it.
Yep.
You know, I have an interface and I have 2 voice microphones, but if I had the
No, in a studio, or if you're in a studio.
and I had everything at my disposal,
You could do it.
yeah, I think I would be able to do it. Maybe need a little bit of guidance, but I think I could do it. I have
Oh,
a
yeah.
decent ear for like so mixing and mastering is really what I want to get into.
Yeah.
Like I love just like when something is recorded and then you alter the way it sounds on your ears and
Yep.
to make it like orally pleasurable,
Mm-hmm.
which sounds
Auditorily, or what's the ear?
Orally pleasurable.
orally, but
Orally's your mouth.
AUR.
Or like a aura.
Orally.
Orally pleasurable.
just said orally
Sounds
pleasurable
fucking
on
sexy.
Yeah, dude. Like I know how to edit my podcast and do a couple things in the post production and mix it, and every time I do it, I learn something new.
Yeah.
And I've done it. There's 50-something episodes. I've recorded music before in the past, but there's so much. All those programs like Ableton, all that
Yeah.
shit. There's fucking. You could take classes just for those individual programs.
Oh, yeah.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I've met a few people that have been in the industry for 20, 30 years, and they always just continuously talk about how they are always learning.
Yep.
There's always someone that's better than them too that they can learn something from. There's always something they can learn from someone who's been doing it for a year or two that they
Yep.
didn't stumble across or whatever. And it's on top of that, it's a daunting field to teach yourself.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is another reason why I kind of was just like, I'm gonna go get like a formal education for
You
it.
gotta
And
know.
I've talked to this other guy who went to University of New Haven too, and he was also telling me that like the majority of what he's learned wasn't even in school. So I'm like, okay, like
Yeah.
he does like hip hop production and stuff, but I also just want to like get on an internship soon, just so I can like be in the studio and stuff. But
That'd be cool.
for now. It's just like doing the weekly podcast is nice on just my own computer, editing and stuff. It's fun. I enjoy doing it. I'm not I want to expand our listener base and everything, but it's just fun to do for both of us. I think Flans also feels the same way with recording and just doing our thing on there. So
Once I started, I was like, whatever. And then after, I got into a couple episodes. It's like anything else. It's like a song. Like you can make a basic song, but then you can add some bells and whistles and work on format and be like, okay, it doesn't have to be this weird talk the whole time. Like you can. It's like a TV show. You could be like Ben's fucking cheese corner. Like what do we got today? Like you could do these little like add-ons.
Yeah.
I got a sampler. Like I want to get one that's external, like on another iPad, but I just want to I want like every single meme reference in the sampler, like he needs some milk, like that shit hurt it, like that's my like where I'm trying to bring it.
I'm
trying to bring it.
I actually was waiting on a table a couple weeks ago, and it was like this big 20 top, and there was one kid at the table. He was like 13, 14, and he ordered like first I was taking drink orders, and he was like, I would like a milk. I'm like, all right, like whatever. I know I'm not a big milk guy, but you can have your milk, whatever. So I get him his milk, and like within like 5 minutes, I would like another milk. I'm like, okay, like, sure. Third milk. He orders a fourth milk. His like older brother across the table is just like, he needs some milk.
I would have lost it.
Oh, I lost it. It was so funny. It was me and him laughing at this like pissed off now looking teenager at us.
And
with the
no
rest
one
of the
else
table knew what happened. It was just me and this one dude.
How many glasses did he go through?
That was his fourth when he ordered that. So he needed some milk.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, did you point him to the bathroom after that? Like, hey, man, bathroom's that way.
He does good with lactose.
Yeah, apparently. I do not.
We went to the Travelers Championship a couple weeks ago, and every time we go, we just sit on the 18th green and watch the guys come through and finish. And the last day, it was like really like there was thousands of people, and we were right. I got my fucking lawn chair in there pretty early. We were like there, fucking just chilling. And
on the last day, Sunday,
it was the day Rory McIlroy came through. We got tickets because of him, because my girl's brother is married to his old girlfriend, and he's still a friend of the family.
Cool.
So she called in a fucking favor, and we got fucking lanyards at the will call, and I was like, holy fuck, this is great. So I knew I wasn't going to be able to hang out with the dude or meet him, but like he's a good golfer, and I wanted to follow him through the course. So he's coming up, and he's something's going on. It's like really, there's like a tie, and somebody needs to make a putt. And right as he's not like getting ready, it wasn't one of those parts where like they want you to be quiet, but like the other golfer made a shot, and he knew he had to like make his, and it's fucking quiet, and all you hear is this one dude on the other side go, "Get that man some milk." Yo, nobody laughed except for me, and I screamed, and Meg's like, shut the fuck up. I'm like, dude, I'm losing it. And you could see the dude up in like the thing going, looking at me.
Boy.
And like Rory heard it too, and he's just got this weird smirk on. So it's just us three people laughing.
Damn.
I love that shit when I'm the only one that gets a fucking reference.
do you golf?
Yes.
I golf.
Yes.
We should golf.
Let's go, dude. Let's go.
Are you really good at golf? I'm not that good.
I've kind of golfed my whole life, only because like my dad worked on golf courses. He was a superintendent. But like I had clubs as a kid, like I knew how to swing a club. And then just recently, over the past couple years, like I'd play. I had like a hand-me-down set of clubs, and then for graduation, he bought me like a brand new set of fucking TaylorMades.
Nice.
And like I'd like to go. Like last year I probably went like 5 times. The year before, a couple. This time I've already got like a few under my belt for the season. Like I would like to go once a week, but it's just like fucking everybody's so busy.
Let me, dude.
Where do you golf?
Stanley or
Dude, that's where I usually go.
Yeah, usually it's Stanley's the easiest.
It's the easiest
Yeah.
because like if it's not too crowded, they'll put you on one of those like side courses where you'll be going slow as fuck and nobody's coming behind you. That's what I like.
But Stanley's backed up a lot. But if you ever want to play Indian Hill Golf Course in Newington,
Okay.
it's private. I'm not a member.
He used to work there. My dad.
I'm a resident there.
Back in the day, really?
Yeah, so resident days are like weekends and Mondays. So
Cool.
If you ever want to go there, it's cheap too. So
Do you ever play Rockledge?
yeah, I played Rockford a few times. Yeah.
My neighbor plays there all the time. Dude, I'm down, dude. Have you been to Keeney Park since they redesigned it?
Yeah, so I went to Keeney, but when I went there, it was like really early in the season. It was probably like 40 degrees out.
Yeah.
It was freezing.
I used to work there. I worked there, and I worked at Blue Fox Run.
I went to Blue Fox Run at Avon.
Yep. My dad was the superintendent there for like 6 years, and then left there, and that's where I did like I did like all the greenskeeping. I even started doing some irrigation shit. But
Yeah.
like, I liked it. But I was like a fucking young maniac, fucking high out of my mind at
Before
work
your
every
sober
day.
days.
Yeah, totally before sober
Keeney's
days.
fucking nice now.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard a dude came in. They changed everything up.
That's crazy.
But
I threw a lot of bucks into that though.
I want to see what Goodwin looks like because I know they're connected. But
So-
I heard that the one isn't as good as Keeney is.
Well, it's a different course. You know, like Keeney's like a bigger course. It's nicer. It's a harder play. But Goodwin this season, I don't know if they threw like more money into it, but it's nice. Like
Really?
it's kept nice.
Cool.
So
I got to
it's-
check it out.
It's and like if you go there after 5 o'clock, like you get out of work, go home, change, get there for 5:15. It costs like $15.
Yeah,
to
it's
play.
easy.
It's like nothing.
You can go to fucking Stanley and get like a 9-hole, and they give you like a hot dog and a drink for like
Yeah.
fucking some
Stanley's
days
got
like
good
$10
deals.
or some shit. Like
The restaurant's good too.
yeah, the back 9 or whatever.
Back 9.
I heard somebody I know like just started working there, and it's like the food is like
I've
good.
heard the
food is good.
Good ones. What is it? Bluebird Cafe.
I've never eaten there.
I heard that's a hot spot. My uncle's a regular there.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
Is that what a bluebird is? A pigeon. That's what a bluebird.
the Pigeon
What is a
Cafe.
bluebird? But I don't want to switch topics too far. But we have a surprise.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a surprise. It's a game we play on our podcast.
Let's do
and
it.
We brought it here.
We want to put you to the test.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're down?
So
Yeah,
just
always.
some history of this game. We originally were going to call it "What's in My Mouth," and
You still want to play?
yeah, you want to play? I don't remember why we changed it. I think someone told us that like some radio show already had that name for something else.
Yeah, maybe that, or it's called "What's in My Mouth."
That's weird.
But,
Okay.
Well, anyways, we named it "What You Doing."
yeah.
What you doing?
Chew.
And
Well, what you doing?
Okay.
also,
Where-
like we were doing this before we even podcasted.
we did this like
Yeah.
10 years ago.
Yeah. So we're very good friends. We've been like best friends for a while. And if I were to hit him up or whatever, and I happen to be like eating something, I would be on the phone. I'd be like, yo, what am I eating?
chewing it.
Trying to guess.
Yeah. And he
Trying
would
to
guess. All right. So naturally, when we started the whole podcast brainstorming stage, we're like, oh, we gotta have this bit in there. Like, we gotta do this.
So we brought a secret snack.
Okay.
You have to close your eyes. There's no
Okay.
cheating.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
All right.
Yeah, we don't fuck
And we're
around.
going to chew it into the mics.
Okay.
And you have the rules are this. You have 3 guesses at what we're eating.
Okay.
If you do not get it in 3, you get to smell it.
Okay. But do I get to smell the product before it's chewed in the mouth, or do I have to like put my nose up to your mouth and smell it that way?
That's a good point. We
That would
might
be
have to
kinda
talk
weird.
about that.
I've never thought about that.
It
but
might
no,
be
no.
better to do that to get a better smell, though. You
Yeah,
know?
it might open it up a little bit
Open it
more.
up.
Yeah, let
Yeah,
it
yeah.
breathe. You know.
It could disguise it because you might have like shit breath.
Yeah.
And the,
I
and
might
the
have
graham,
tuna for lunch.
the graham crackers just not coming through correctly.
Yeah, the shit breath.
No, you smell it in whatever encasing it's in. So if it's in a bag or a container, you smell it in that.
Okay.
And Brian, do you get one guess on that? After that, I think you get one guess for that, and then
at
you
that
get to
point,
taste
it's kind
it.
of like
Yeah. So it's after 3 guesses, smell it on the 4th, 5th, you get to taste it.
Okay.
And that's if you don't get it.
Okay.
So
So
Yeah.
should I
You
close
could
my
give yourself
eyes?
a spin around if you have
yeah,
cable
spin
length.
around.
Totally.
You have
I
cable
think that
length.
might be
There's a few things here. We're going to open the bag, which is going to give
You
you
get
a
to hear
little-
the
you know,
casing.
You get to hear
Okay.
the casing.
All right.
But this is a bag, so I already give some away. Now you
me
could
to-
ask for a request like shake it, like
Yeah.
things like that.
Okay.
So,
I'll open and we'll each take a turn chewing. Is
Yes.
that cool?
Yeah, I
Cool.
agree.
All right. So
And just for the listeners, I am facing away now.
Yeah.
we do not tolerate cheating for this game.
yeah.
Okay.
not at
So
all.
here's a little sound sample of the bag, not open, just a little movement.
Okay. You know what? I could tell you right now, it sounds like a more heftier, thicker bag than your usual chip bag.
Whoa.
I've already got that.
Don't give anything away,
Okay, yeah,
Flans.
no,
I can
I
hear
get,
that.
I get excited. I get excited.
Whoa!
I get excited about this kind of stuff.
Okay.
All right.
I am now going to open the bag so you can hear the sound of that.
Okay.
Whoa, that was nice.
Okay.
Good.
That was clean.
All right.
Okay. So one more thing before the actual chewing we do is we take a piece of whatever object it is and we let it hit the side of the bag on the way out.
Okay.
I'm not sure that this helps, but it's ritual. So.
It's what we do.
Okay.
Ready?
Wait, is that how you do it? The thing is, every time we do this to each other, one of our eyes are closed. That's not how I've ever done it.
That's how I do it. Yeah.
All right, this is what I do.
All right, we'll do it.
I let it hit the side.
That's a lot of noise.
I can hear
right there.
things now. I hear
But that
things
gives
jiggling.
a little bit of a
Yeah,
hint.
that's definitely more of a hint there.
I think that's what
Okay.
you're supposed to do. You want me
okay.
to bite first?
Yeah, give him a good chew right there.
Okay, here we go.
Okay.
And you don't have to guess right away. You know?
No. I'll give you a second chew too when he's done, so you can really.
Go ahead.
Okay.
All right. So I'm thinking right now, it's not any sort of chip. I'm thinking it's a smaller piece of maybe like a Skittle or M&M like with a peanut in it. It's like something with a shell, I think. That's where I'm going.
Okay.
It doesn't sound like a big Pringle being smashed around. It sounds like something small.
You are a professional at food. You're
Yeah.
a foodie.
Yeah.
That's why
This is a whole nother. This
You want one
this
more?
is rough.
Now
Yeah,
you want-
yeah. Give me one more chew. All right. So now what do? I just have to
You guess the item.
first guess.
I'm gonna say that those are. They are some sort of. No, you know what? I'm gonna go and say that those are Reese's Pieces.
Wrong.
Okay, I knew it. What do I get? 3 guesses?
You get 3
You
guesses.
get 3 guesses, and you can have more chews if you'd like.
Or you could ask, all right, since you're on a, I don't give it much away, but obviously this is you've already said it's a loose item, it's a singular item.
Yeah.
If you want us to bite multiple, you could ask for that too.
Could you bite multiple?
Sure.
Brian, go ahead.
I'm gonna pop 2 in my mouth.
Okay.
And I could pop more in my mouth, but I'm gonna do 2.
Okay.
It's a big hint.
A little jiggle for you there.
Okay.
Just bite. Can you
Want
bite
to
it?
bite?
Yep.
Yeah. There's something small, like a small piece of candy. It's a small circular piece of candy. Or like orb shaped, like sphere, M&M type. I'm thinking like the peanut M&M.
Yes.
You got it.
Shut the fuck up.
That's fucking it.
Holy shit.
Very
Would you
nice.
like one?
Yeah, why not? Mega.
Honestly,
Are these bigger than?
those are jumbo.
Oh man.
So you said something when we were doing this, and we mentioned you were a foodie. You agreed, and then you said, "But this is a whole nother thing."
Do you know what's weird though? I hate to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
That was my fucking initial thing.
I know
when
you
you were
said
saying that, me and him, I was like, "Fuck!" It's like, shh, shh, and I'm fucking laughing
Yeah,
in my
we were-
arm.
Because I could hear like the candy parts like knocking together.
You were like fucking peanut M&M, and I'm like, "Oh fuck, fuck!" Like, how is he this good?
Yeah.
Like,
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's
So-
a good. That's a good.
It's a good little bit, right?
And it took up a good amount of time, and it wasn't like grueling.
no. So we don't do it every episode.
No.
Yeah.
We don't even do it every other. It's like every. We've
When
probably
we-
done it
when we
3.
want,
I think
yeah.
out of our 9 episodes, we've done it 3 times.
That's awesome. That's a good one. You could get crazy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, like I think the last one was originally when we thought of this idea, I was always going to be the chewer, he was always going to be the doer.
Yeah.
You know? And he got the first week he got it right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
We
how
haven't
the fuck
gotten it
that
right since
happened.
then.
And then he got it wrong, and then I was like, I'll do. You chew.
I was just, you guys need to get it to a place where the person doesn't get it. They get blindfolded, and they have to stick their nose in your open mouth to like smell the chewed food, and that's just going to generate laughs right
Yeah.
there.
And
that's a
then
really
if
good
you
idea.
have to get to the 5th guess where you have to try the chewed food.
Yeah.
Like a mama bird feeding the baby.
Oh, regurgitated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, yeah. If it's got to get that far, you
it's
got to do it.
punishment.
If
Yeah.
you're like fucking up real bad, like your guesses are so off, that's
Yeah.
what happens.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, but you were scary from the start, man. You were on it.
Yeah.
Like from like that you're a professional at this game when you say from the sound of the bag, it's a thicker bag,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
a chip bag.
And look at
When you said that, we looked at each other in fear.
it's not like some shitty fucking State Line potato chip
Right.
bag.
Oh, I like State Line potato chips.
Oh, I
though.
love them. I grew up on them.
Okay. But I was actually nervous because the opening of the bag's a big thing. I think that's one of the biggest hints you get with sound.
Yeah.
And I was nervous when I
You
saw
could blow it right there.
Like, I knew what Brian was bringing because we already had talked about this, but I didn't know it was that style of bag. I thought it was going to be the normal one you find at 7-Eleven, like the
You got to rip it.
Crease,
you got
pinch,
to rip
pull.
it. And I'm like, this might throw him off.
And I'll tell you, a regular size bag of M&Ms is not that. It's more. It's kind of papery. You
Yeah.
kind of
It's
rip
papery.
it easy
It's
now.
papery.
That's
Tissue.
plastic. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you were on it, though. I'm
Yeah.
fucking impressed.
You guys got something
real.
on your hands. That's a good
Yeah.
good excerpt game
Yeah.
or whatever you call that.
Well, so the thing that's cool about it too is like a part of our feedback we've gotten is like, I thought it was a Frito or I thought it was a Cheeto. You know, like people are listening along and guessing with us.
That's good.
I remember
Which is-
the first
You're getting people engaged.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
the first time we released a podcast that had What You Doing in it. I was like at work and I'm getting like these texts like yeah, like Cheeto, Lay's chip. I'm like, what the fuck is
Lay's
this?
On the
Chip.
like live as they're listening.
And I'm like, but it's like Monday for me. Like, I don't even know what's happening. Like, why is this person texting me random chips?
I
Like,
wish I could do something live. Like have like a live
yeah.
podcast and have people interact.
people
but
have mentioned that to us. Like, you should do a live. I'm like, live is rough.
Yeah.
Would you ever consider like filming it?
People have wanted like, oh, can you do like a Facebook Live or can you film while
I
you
would
do
consider
it?
that if we got to a certain point.
But this vibe here, like where we're kind of just sitting back, chilling, like, I think for me it would be better to do live. Where we, like I said, do 30-minute podcasts.
Yeah.
So
I would watch a 30-minute live podcast. I wouldn't watch like an hour or too long.
well, the reason why our podcasts are 30 minutes long is because we kind of take a lot of the shit out that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's like take that out, and
Yeah.
an hour and a half of recording becomes 30 minutes.
Yep.
I wouldn't say also like shit that doesn't make sense as more so just to keep it kind of moving.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to like lose our listeners. Like, you know, it's just the flow is much better after the editing process. And like,
Yep.
we might do a whole discussion on the episode, and you know, I'll be like, you know what, let's get rid of this for this week. Like, it's not as strong as the others or whatever.
Yep.
And you know, that's a part of the process for delivering a product that is really quality to our listeners, you know?
I never thought about like running a lot. Well, I have thought about it, but it's like I got a couple friends that do like my two of my friends, Enemy the Illest and Strife, two rappers from the New London area, and bless their hearts, they they don't do a podcast, but they do this thing where they like turn on the live and they sit at a desk in the studio and they just like talk about crazy shit, talk about upcoming stuff. And that for me as a friend is just an open invitation to start fucking with you. I'll start writing like, his cock is so big, and trying to like make them read it and like laugh, you know, or like I'll be like, I'm fingering my ass right now, and then they'll be like, oh, there's Ben, you know, but they're not saying what I'm saying. But like
That is a problem with live.
yeah, but
Yeah.
if I could set the thing up and just turn it on so people can watch it and not look and interact with the comments, I'd be good. But like, you got to figure that could be cool. It could be fun. Like, people start doing like asking you to do shit or change the topic of the conversation. Like, I might experiment with that. I was going to. You know, you can get 2 GoPros, one on the guests and one on me, but then I have to edit it post-production. You know, you have 2 full lines, and then you gotta like boop, boop,
Yeah,
you
back
know,
and forth.
with the conversation. They make editing software for microphones that say there's 2 microphones.
Signals it or something, yeah.
It'll
That's cool.
This one, that one, but it doesn't do it perfectly. You kind of got to go in and fine tune it, but you could do that. But the thing is, like, I always thought, like, would people really want to get that far? Like, this comes out on a YouTube channel, but it's like literally there's some of my episodes that weren't listened to on YouTube because like they might have be for somebody that's at work that wanted to listen and they only have like their internet up. You know what I mean? Like,
It's an odd platform for
it is,
podcasting.
but it's weird because some like take off, but you have to know what you're doing.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You have to know what you're doing. But I would try it. I think it's cool. I think it would be cool, but like it would be one of those things where if it didn't, I would never do it again.
Yeah. I'm happy with. I like
the allure of not seeing. It's like mysterious.
I like that too.
I put out a picture of my guests, and that's that. You got to figure it out yourself.
And I think people are more into that too, like to see the face behind the voice too, that they might, find relatable, or, they were really into this person and that person, and they, you get a following, and then they see your face, or they find you. It's like they might enjoy that more.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had a fan who you never met who has grown a crush on you over your podcast?
I've had people like leave comments that like that I've never met before, or people in like other countries, like
Pretty good.
and but like they're not like it's not like a crush,
Okay.
but like they'll definitely like somebody definitely left like a comment one day, and they're like, we love you in Sweden or something, and I was like,
That's awesome.
holy fuck, like I fucking made it.
Yeah, right? I'm fucking famous.
Do you guys upload to Libsyn?
Yep.
You know how they got the world map and you could see where most of your followers are listening from?
We don't have the premium.
But
we're going
one
there.
day I was like $10 extra. Fuck it.
So we
we're
have
gonna
to,
do.
because our episodes are getting to a size where it's breaching the amount of space we
You have to
allotted
go
per
into the
month.
next one, yeah.
So I'm excited to see that kind of premium statistics
Wait, so you
data.
could see where in the world
So
you're being listened to.
It shows like a world map and it highlights the countries of listeners, and then you can go in and it'll tell you how many. So obviously you're going to have like United States and Canada, and then one day I was checking and I had 7 other countries. I had a dude listening from I know I have a couple friends in Sweden, I have a couple friends in Finland that listen, but I had somebody listening from Argentina, I had somebody listening from Iraq, and I was like, how did it get out there? It's Instagram.
So cool.
It's Instagram. It's got to be Instagram, because that's the only way that you would have a connection with somebody from over there that you didn't know.
I wonder if we upload, if it will show us in the past episodes if anyone has listened from a different country.
I don't know.
We upgraded,
dude,
yeah.
I accidentally deleted 17 episodes of my
I remember
shit.
I remember seeing that post from you. Yeah.
And it's like I had to do the thing where I had to get more space, and I pay like the $30 one, because there was a couple months where I did like an extra one and it was telling me I was running out of room, but at the end of every month it auto archives. So I was like, shit, I need to make space, so I'm gonna take them off of here, but they're all going to still be out in the world.
Right.
That's not how it works. You take it off of Libsyn, it's fucking gone forever.
Off iTunes and everything.
It pulls it from everywhere. No more fucking YouTube, no more SoundCloud, no more Twitter, none of that. It pulls it from everywhere. So I was like, okay, cool, I'm just going to free up space. Nope, I didn't archive it. I deleted it.
I wonder if you keep your if you cancel your subscription, if they remain.
No, they probably
take them down too,
I,
right?
Well, I got in touch with somebody at the help desk. I was like, dude, I did this. Is there any way these can be recovered? They were like, no, you deleted.
Oh, you didn't have the original files either?
No, and because every time I save one, I save it to the desktop so I can pull it like that.
Yeah.
But now I've got it set so every time I save it, it saves it in the actual like program, and it throws one on the desktop for me to toy with. You know what I mean? And I only did that after learning the hard way.
Yeah.
I was fucking bummed, and everybody that were the guests for those ones kind of felt like, "Why'd you delete mine? Wasn't that good?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "No, it's I fucked up."
You. Yeah, they hate you now.
Oh man. So when's your guys' next episode come out?
This Sunday.
This Sunday.
We try to get it every Sunday, 10:30 a.m.
Cool.
Yeah, you could listen to it on, like I said, iTunes, Spotify.
Spotify.
Just search Sunday Morning Hangover Podcast.
You guys are on Spotify?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool. I think I'm not.
If you're on Libsyn, you
Set
should
it
be
up
though.
on there. They were having issues with it, but it's
Yeah, I have
recently
to
they
add
set
it.
up.
Yeah.
Mine goes like the RSS feed, the original link, iTunes, YouTube, Stitcher, Google Play, iHeartRadio, but I pulled it off of iHeartRadio because it's just like
I just did everything. Just like why
I
the
did
fuck
as many
not,
ones
you know?
as I could that didn't cost me any money.
Yeah.
But I don't have it on SoundCloud, but I do want to get one on Spot. I do want to get it on Spotify.
Spotify's hot. A lot of people use it.
Because like I know that everybody uses, you know, if you're an Android user, you use Stitcher, and if you're an iTunes user, you use the podcast app.
Yep.
But then anybody could do Spotify, and Spotify is kind of that big right now with music that it'll like you could listen.
Like I'll be at the bar and someone's like, "Oh, you have a podcast?" I'm like, "Yeah." Like, "Well, is it on Spotify?" I'm like, and this is before I knew it even was on there, and I was like, "I don't know, search it." And the dude searches it. He's like, "Yeah, it's right here." I'm like, "Holy fuck, it's on Spotify."
That's awesome.
We made it.
And recently, other advertising I've been doing this. I'm just going to throw this out there. I'll go on like Tinder and Bumble, and I'll like just swipe every girl on there, and then when they're like, of course they're gonna be like, "Hey, what do you do?" And I'll just spit it out. "Oh, I'm on this podcast. Here's the link," and that's
Just
it.
hit him with a link. Here's my mixtape.
Oh, I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for like to be by like a house fire or like a robbery. Or like, "Oh, here's Dan Flans, the someone innocent bystander. What did you see?" Before I tell you what I saw, Sunday Morning Hangover podcast comes out this Sunday, and then I'll tell the story. You know, like I want that.
Yeah.
I want that.
That's fucking great. I probably set that up tonight. I never even thought about it. But Spotify is so big for music right now. Like, that's where I listen to most of mine. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People listen to like it's just like if it's not on Spotify and they pay for it, like they don't want to fucking hear it.
Yeah, there's nowhere. They're lazy. They don't want to go past that. Awesome. So, like, I was just going to ask you where we could find it, but obviously, you know.
Yeah.
But you kind of want people to listen through the iTunes the most, so they can leave you a review.
Yeah, leave a review. I'd
Leave the
also
5 stars.
do you want to spit out the Gmail and everything? So because we like submissions.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I mean,
So-
you might even have a good one you could send us.
I will.
Yeah.
Totally. Let us hear it.
So our email account to just send us any submissions you have or topics is sundaymorningpodcast@gmail.com. Our Instagram page is @sundaymorningpodcast. You can directly message us right on there with any sort of topics or discussions you want. And even if you just want to hit us up, have a chat, cool. Our Twitter is @SMH_podcast. And then, you can find us on iTunes and Spotify, Sunday Morning Hangover Podcast.
Awesome.
Every Sunday.
But yeah, like we said in the beginning, we really like the email submissions. Sunday Morning Podcast.
Yeah, it always tricks us.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to send you guys a weird one.
A weird Gmail?
You'll know it's from me though, but you could keep it like anonymous.
Well,
but
that's another thing, too,
I'll
like-
send you a good one.
That's what we do. So from the start, we were like, some people don't want their names out. You
Yeah.
know? So it's like, you can give us a fake name.
Yeah.
You could be like, "Yo, I want my full name," or "I just want my first name." Like, whatever you want to do, let us know. We're not going to fuck you. Like, we're
Yeah.
going to put you on blast. Like,
Yeah. Cool. That's perfect.
So-
Yeah, man. I hope you guys do well. I'm going to give a listen this weekend. Everybody listening right now, I'm going to need you to go subscribe to the Sunday Morning Hangover podcast on iTunes and add it into your queue. And we'll have you guys back on at some point, and we'll catch back up and see how things are going.
That'd be great.
Come back on for your 50th episode. Come back to me.
and we'll bring a harder guest than Eminem P.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then we'll
Pretzel
open up.
M&Ms.
We'll open up your world map and see what's going on.
Hell yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Dan Flans and Brian Niederhauser of the Sunday Morning Hangover Podcast. Thank guys.
Thank you. It was awesome.